Hello, friends. It's me, Carrie. I don't know why. I was just laying on my bed a little while ago, and I just got the idea, it just popped into my head that I wanted to start a new feature here on PerseveringStar, and I want you to, like, gird your loins, get really excited. Drum rolls are cool. I'll wait. I came up with the most original, creative idea of a name for this segment. Flashback Friday. I know. Your mind is blown right now, right? Because that is so creative and original and not at all like borrowing a huge popular hashtag from social media. Go Carrie. But seriously, yeah. I'm just going to call it Flashback Friday because that's really what it is. It's an online vloggy version, a YouTube-y version of Flashback Friday. I was just thinking about old memories, and I don't know why. I just started thinking about when I was 3. Now, when I was 3, I don't really remember a lot. I mean, I doubt most people remember much about being 3. I do have one particular memory that stands very strongly in my mind, and I'll get into that in a minute. And there's a reason why I think I remember it. It's because it was a very, significant moment in my life. But the first memory I want to share is one that my mother told me about, that she remembered and I obviously did not. I apparently blew my mom and my grandma away when I was 3 years old. We used to go to the mall together, 3 ladies who lunch, and I don't know if I was being pushed in a stroller, if I was walking around with them, what I was doing, but on this particular day, whenever it was, I know I was 3 because Mom recalls me being 3. She looked down at me because I blurted something out. And apparently she had to do a double take and probably asked me to repeat what I had said, and I said it again. And she realized I was reading the names of the stores as we passed them. And up until that point, she had no idea that I knew how to read. Now, I did start preschool at 3, but as far as I know, it might have been different in 1976 when I was 3 than it is now in 2018. But I don't think that we were taught to read in preschool at 3 years old. I think it was pretty much, I don't know, how to not, make a wee-wee in our pants. I mean, I don't think that that's the kind of thing they taught 3-year-old kids. And my mom was certainly blown away that I knew how to do it. And I guess she must have pointed out other stores, or we passed other stores and I read them too. So it wasn't like a matter of oh, I just remember the name of the store because we've been to it before. She realized that I was actually reading the names. I don't know if I read them properly or whatever. I guess I got close enough that she knew what I was trying to say. And she and my grandma were just completely blown away and tickled by that. And once the minute I heard that story, forget it, it was on. In my mind, I knew that I was the smart kid, and I wasn't, and I never really thought of myself as anything else. I never felt pretty, I never felt funny, I never felt any other positive adjectives about myself. To this day, I struggle with all of those things, but I always thought smart. Okay, well, if there's nothing else going for you, Carrie, at least you're pretty smart. And that led to being a teenager and having acne and having a big nose and just feeling ugly and hideous and worthless and literally praying to God at night, God, please, 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 could you just make me less smart and more pretty? Because if I was prettier, people would like me more. And if I was unintelligent, I wouldn't know any better. If they were laughing at me behind my back or whatever. I mean, I legitimately did that. And I didn't mean to take this down a dark path, but that's where my mind typically goes. But anyway, so just to give you a little image, this was me at 3. I know, it's crazy, right? But this was probably from the Sears Portrait Center or JCPenney or something. But that's little Carrie at 3. So picture this thing just suddenly starting to read names of stores at the mall. And you can imagine, ooh, that went really dark. There you go. You can imagine why my mom was probably pretty surprised by that. But anyway, so that was me at 3. And then I have another photograph to show you. And I don't know if finding this photograph triggered the memory or if I remembered it first and then finding the photograph later just reaffirmed in my mind. See, I wasn't imagining things. This actually happened. But there was a story, and I know again that I was 3 years old, and you'll know why in a little bit. But I remember walking to town with my my maternal grandfather, going to get Carvel ice cream. And I remember the path that we walked because it was right in the middle of town. I mean, there was only one path we would have logically taken. But I remember walking down this one particular street, walking on the sidewalk with my grandpa, going to get ice cream, probably a cone or something, because I was 3, I was a little girl. You know, Carrie at 44, believe me, would have gotten something much bigger, but probably some little kid cone with rainbow sprinkles more than likely, and walking back home with him and sitting on chairs in front of my house. And this is the house I still live in to this day. I didn't live here for a while, but I'm back here now, so it's like circle of life stuff. But I remember coming home after the ice cream and sitting with my grandpa on chairs in front of the house. And what made everything about that so surreal was because that was the day my mother came home from the hospital with my new baby brother. Now, back in the 70s, I don't think it's the same way now. I was born via C-section on May 10th, 1973, and my brother was born 18 days after my 3rd birthday, May 28th, 1976. And back then, if a woman had a C-section birth, she had to continue having C-section births. I don't think that's the case now. I think you can have a C-section and then later deliver a child naturally, you know, regular vaginal birth, but that was not how it was then, so my mom had a C-section. So I believe that they kept you overnight, at least, if you had a C-section back in the 70s. Like I said, now it's like you pop out the baby, it seems like, in 2 hours later. It's like, okay, take your baby and go. You know, they can't wait to get you out of the hospital fast enough. I don't know if they let you stay longer with a C-section now. I should hope so, because I would think that would be a pretty big procedure to recover from. But anyway, my mom and dad came home with my little brother, so I'm assuming this was probably May 29th or even May 30th, depending on how things worked back then, 1976. And I remember going to get the ice cream. I remember sitting on the chair out in front of my house. Well, feast your eyes on this. There I am with my grandpa. I'm also holding Mr. T-Bear, who is one of my very first stuffed animals. And there is my mom, apparently doing pretty well because she's all bent over to pick me up. I would think that, you know, recovering from a C-section would hurt an awful lot. But there she is picking me up. I have no idea whose car that is in the driveway. That is the house I live in now, although it looks completely different now. Completely different. Even, like, the shrubbery and everything is, like, completely different now. The way everything is styled and landscaped. But that is my mom and me and Mr. T-Bear and my grandpa sitting on chairs in front of the house the day my brother came home. So I just thought that that would be a fun memory to share with you guys, or a couple of fun memories to share with you guys. Now, I don't think that Flashback Friday is going to be an every Friday thing, because I'm not that regimented and I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants when I shoot things. I am starting to jot down ideas for future videos to shoot. Obviously, if there's things that you guys suggest, I want to make sure I don't forget to do them. But this just literally, I was laying in bed and it just randomly popped into my head. So I said, Flashback Friday, do it. Why not? It might be fun. People seem to enjoy vloggy things. I kind of enjoy talking about myself when it's fun stuff and not painful stuff. And even talking about painful stuff is very cathartic for me. It actually is more healing than I ever expected it to be. And sharing it with a bunch of people who don't know me. Some of you do now, but I don't know. It's very freeing and liberating. And for someone who kept so much inside for so long, it's just a big step for me. I've said a lot recently in light of this whole D-Day debacle of demonetization of channels with less than 1,000 subscribers that will be happening on February 20th. Thanks, YouTube. I hate you for that. But since this like mad rush for us all to try to help each other out as small YouTubers and get each other to that magic number, it's just made me think a lot about why I started this channel in the first place. And it will be 2 years old on April 2nd. I'm almost positive. I keep quoting that date. I really should double check, but I'm pretty sure it's April 2nd. And honestly, I started it for myself as a test. It was a test to see, as someone who has suffered lifelong anxiety and depression and low self-esteem, who is very introverted until I get to know and trust people, if it was like a personal challenge. Like, if you can shoot a video and put it on YouTube, knowing how many awful trolls there are in the world that are going to say, you know, you're stupid, this sucks, you're ugly, whatever. If you can do it and you can take it, that proves that you're stronger than you think you are. So let's try this. And I didn't appear on camera for at least, I want to say, let's see, April, May, June, July, August. For the first 4 months I had the channel, I did not once appear on camera because I didn't want people judging my looks. I couldn't handle that. And I still can't really, to be honest, but you know what? It is what it is. And YouTube is, it's a microcosm of the world. People are always going to judge people for their looks. I hate that that's true, but it seems like we all are guilty of that sometimes, although I try really, really hard not to be. I'm not some like super awesome human being that's better than everybody else, but I do make a really concerted effort not to judge people until they give me reason to, until their behavior makes me hate them or love them or whatever. I try to go into things with an open mind, but it got me really thinking about why I started this channel, and that's why I did it. And it's become so much more than that. It's become the baby I'll never have. It's become my outlet to reach out to people because I don't have a whole lot of friends that are close by that I can see and spend time with. My friends are scattered far and wide all over the globe, and it sucks because I really, would love to have more people to just call on the phone and say, let's go get a cup of coffee. Hey, you want to go to the mall? Let's go thrifting. Let's, just do nothing. Come over and watch MST with me, And I really don't have a lot of people I can do that with. The friends I currently have, I can honestly say that one of them has been to my house, I think, twice, and one of them has been to my house less than 10 times, and the others have never even been to my house, which is because we gather at another friend's house because she's very, very accommodating and warm and loves having people and loves hosting affairs, and I, with my stress and anxiety, am not good at that. I've never even had, one of them to my house because of the fear. I've invited a couple times, but it hasn't worked out with, individual people, but it's hard for me to reach out in actual life, like in person. So this is my way of doing that. It started with my writing. I love to write still. My dream is to be a published author. I actually submitted, and I've never shared this on here before, but I submitted recently at the beginning of this month a chapbook to Button Poetry for a contest, and I want to win it so badly. Actually, what I want to do, to be honest with you, I want to come in 2nd through 18th and have them choose the option to publish, because from what I understand, the winner of this contest will get a trip to Minneapolis to actually present their poetry live on stage and to be recorded for Button Poetry's YouTube channel. And that scares the crap out of me. Even though I would love to win that prize, I'm really, 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 it terrifies me to think that I would ever win that, and I'm sure I won't. But they are choosing, I believe, 18 semifinalists with the option of publishing their chapbooks if they choose, and that's what I really, really, really want. You also get, I think, $500 and 50 copies of your book if you win, which, that would be amazing. The whole trip to Minneapolis thing really terrifies me, and I don't even know if it's a trip for two or just me, if it would just be me by myself. And, I'm not going to win that. I'm not, I'm not naive enough to think that I'm actually going to win, but it's fun to dream about. And if I did, I'd figure it out. I would fly by the seat of my pants, no pun intended, but I would fly from New York to Minneapolis and I would figure it out. And I would make it work because it would be the opportunity of a lifetime. And I'm realistic. I know that I'm probably not going to win anything or be a semifinalist or anything whatsoever, but oh God, dreaming about it is amazing. And in a way, I feel like just the fact that I disciplined myself to meet a deadline, to do the thing, to not procrastinate and go, I just missed it, darn, maybe next time. I actually did the thing. I got it done. I submitted it even before the deadline, a few days before. I think the contest opened in November and I submitted on January 1st, and it was like January 5th deadline or something, but I made it and I didn't do it at the very last second. So even if I lose, I've won in many ways. But anyway, I don't know why I went off on this tangent. You will know if you watch this channel, or if you have been watching this channel, I go off on tangents a lot, but I guess I just wanted you guys to know that this channel is about a lot of different things, and I like offering new features for you guys when I come up with ideas. This Flashback Friday thing I think could be a lot of fun, potentially. You guys let me know what you think, if you enjoyed it or not. I'll definitely have way more embarrassing pictures to share if it's something that we continue with. Because at this point, who cares? It is what it is. I looked how I looked. I look how I look now. Nothing really much I can do about that. So, if you think I'm ugly, all right, then that's cool. I know I'm pretty on the inside. So, So there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I love you so, so much. Your support means everything. We're inching closer to 1,000. I would love to see it happen. I believe in my heart that it will with your kind assistance. So let's see what happens. But thank you so, so, so much for watching, and have a fabulous rest of your day. Have a fabulous Friday, and I will be back soon with more stuff. Bye.